Hi guys, so this is a late night vlog, and it's a book review vlog, and I'm in my pajamas, and for the first day in this whole month of March, well, part of March, part of April, there was one day in this week where it was actually above 50 degrees, and it was the most hottest day ever. It got to be 62 degrees outside, but anyway. I'm here to do a book review on, I think, 7 books. I can't count straight, you guys, today. So anyway, I'm doing this book review, and there's a lot of books. Let's just get right into it. And like I always do, I'm going to tell you where I got each one of these books. And I did talk about them in my favorites video, and the favorites video has 2 parts to it, so go check that out if you haven't seen my March favorites. But anyway, I'm going to get to the V.C. Andrews book. Now, this weekend, on Sunday, Easter Sunday, they're going to do the V.C. Andrews Flowers in the Attic series movie, the 3rd installment in the movie series, and it's If There Be Thorns. I had to look at my bookshelf to see. But those movies are really good, and I think I'm going to catch up on it and on Netflix, or not on Netflix, but on demand. If I can't, I'll find some other way to watch it. But, so the first one I have is, I got this at Walmart. It's V.C. Andrews' book. It goes along with the first book in the series. It has 3 books, but the 3rd book's not out yet. It comes out next month. And this is Christopher's Diary, Echoes of Gallagher, however you say it. And this is what it looks like. And it comes in 2 parts. It's the first part, it doesn't have, let me backtrack, it doesn't have any chapters in it at all, and it's a book series. So the first book is Christopher's Diary, Secrets of Foxworth, and then the second one, which I just showed you, is Echoes of Gallagher, and then the 3rd one that comes out in May is called Secret Brother. So it's, like I said, it's in 2 parts. There's no chapters in either part. The first part is just the whole story, and it's just called Becoming Christopher and Kathy, and then the second part is just the epilogue. So like I said in my previous video, you have to read the Flowers in the Attic book, or at least the Flowers in the Attic book, and the Petals in the Wind, or Petals on the Wind, whatever those 2 books are called, and you have to read both of them to understand what's going on in this book. But if you want to read the whole series, you can. I told you the Flowers in the Attic book come in 5 books. But, yeah, so this book was really good. In the beginning, it was really, really bad, because it was like, it was in 2 or 3 separate storylines, where it was the girl who finds the diary and her boyfriend reading it, her and her boyfriend talking about, like, their deepest secrets, and then her and her dad, and then the diary. So it was like all the combinations into one. And I really would have liked it if it was separated into chapters more, because, you know, if you're an avid reader, you always like to have, if you're an avid reader, you always like to have chapters in books. But the thing is, with this book, it was really addictive. This book, let me show you guys again. This book was really addictive. It was, like, so good. And, like, the epilogue part was so good. It was so shocking. So you have to read I can't reveal the ending, because if I reveal the ending, you have to understand what happened in the first 2 books in the Flowers in the Attic series. This had 400 plus pages in it. And like I said before, usually V.C. Andrews books are either, like, close to 400 pages, or they are 400 pages. It just depends. But I got this at Walmart. They still have it, and I think it's like $5, somewhere around there, I think. So the next book I have is another book I got at Walmart, and it was $5.50. And I don't know if I did a book haul on it or a book review on this book, so I'm just going to redo it. This is The Cowboy's Forever Family by Deb Kastner, and it's a cowboy country book. It's a love-inspired book, and it's a Harlequin book at the same time. And there was, I don't know how many chapters, honestly, they were just so long ago. Let's just say there were 15 chapters in it, plus an epilogue. And this is what it looks like. It goes along with another book I read, and I don't know what, I forget what book it was. I forget. It was like a Christmas book. But it was really good. I really liked the storyline in this little book. And it's about this cowboy guy, and his best friend died in a rodeo accident. Him and his friend, they were like rodeo people, like doing circuits like that. And his wife, that they divorced, and his wife was pregnant during divorce and everything, and his friend never knew about it. So he's trying to help her through her pregnancy, and they fall in love with each other. Like in the beginning, they hate each other, and then they fall in love with each other. And it's really cute. I really like the storyline. It's sort of like, I'm not going to say it's like the same exact version, but if you ever read The Longest Ride by Nicholas Sparks, it's somewhat sort of like it, because it's like country and cowboys and stuff like that. But I don't think they have this book at Walmart anymore, so I don't know if you can still get it. I don't know if your Walmart has it or not. I have no clue. But, yes. So, these next two books are in a series, and the third book doesn't come out until October of this year. And I got these two books at Target. They were $14.99, so they were $15 each. And they're the Edwardian Brides and series, and they're by Carrie Turansky. I don't know how to say people's last names, so you guys know. So the first book is called The Governess of Highland Hall, and it has, let's just see, 30 pages plus an epilogue, I think. But I read some of these books I read like a while ago, so I really don't know anything about them, so I have to look through the books really fast. But, yes, this is what this book looks like. And it's about, a missionary who became the governess, and the governess is sort of like a nanny slash babysitter slash teacher to the kids by the royal rich people. So she's a missionary, and she comes to work for the Sir William Ramsay, because she needed to get money because her father got sick. They were doing missionary work in India, and he got sick in India, so her family had to move back to England. So she started to get a job with them, and she said that if her father got well, she'd go away back to India to help them all out. And she's the governess. What happened is that Sir William Ramsay had a brother, and his brother inherited Highland Hall, but then he died, so then his brother made him the executor of the state, or estate, whatever you want to call it, so he owns it and everything, and he's going through all these different problems. And it sort of does, if you ever watched Downton Abbey, it's sort of like this a little bit. But yeah, I really didn't get into this first book. Let me show you guys again this book, because it just really didn't interest me at first, because I'm so used to like the Downton portrayal more than anything else. So the first book really wasn't like that good, because I think it was like a setup for the second book. And this one was called The Governess of Highland Hall. I don't think I said that to you guys the first time. But the second book I really got into, and it had 26 chapters in it, no epilogue. And it's called The Daughter of Highland Hall, Book 2, and it's by the same author. And this book is about, I'll show you guys. I don't know if I can show you guys or not. But, this book's about, one of the daughters that Sir William Ramsay, not one of the daughters, but one of the daughters that Sir Ramsay's brother had. He helps, them get through the season, and the season is where eligible, royal sort of people with titles go to meet the royalty, like the king and queen and the princess, and then their courting sort of starts their courting season, where like they get courted by a man, and then they get married and everything. And her brother starts to live at Highland Hall because he wants to be closer to where he works, which is he's like a doctor. He's in training to be a doctor. And he falls in love with the daughter of Highland Hall, and her name's Catherine. And that's all I'm going to say. And then in between that, what I like about these two books is in between, like, the royalty, the titled people, like the sirs and the lords and the duchesses and everything else, was an inner story, which was about the help that was in each one, like the maids and the butlers and everything. So this one centered around one of the ladies' maids' sisters, and it was really good. I really liked that part of the story a lot. And in this one, it was more about the head maid, you could say, and the butler, stuff like that. But the second book is really, really good. And then I told you the third book doesn't come out until October of this year. And the first one was I think the first book was in the time setting in 1912, and this one is in 1913, the second book. So I think the next book is called A Refuge at Highland Hall. So I guess it's sort of going to be like about the First World War. I'm not really sure. I'm just guessing. And I told you I got these books at Target. And to me, Target has a better book sort of selection, better than Walmart's, because Walmart only keeps books that they can't sell out for so long, and you just keep looking and looking at the same books every time you go to Walmart. It just gets, so obnoxious, and it's so boring after a while. So this book I got at Target again, and I like anything to deal with, like, Paris, no matter if it's a Paris history or a book with a setting in Paris. So this is called The Paris Wife by Paula McLain. I don't know how to say her last name. But this is what it looks like. Hold on, I'll try to show you guys. This is what it looks like. And this book centers around Ernest Hemingway, and it's Ernest Hemingway and his wife, his Paris wife, you could say. And I didn't understand why it was called his Paris wife when I first read the back, but then as it went on towards the end, you finally figured out, okay, this is the Paris wife, this is what it's about. And it had 47 chapters in it, plus an epilogue. And most of the chapters in here are really, really long. Like, and the words are really tiny on the page. Like, there's a lot of words on the page. I'll just show you, like, an excerpt from the books. Like, see how many words are on the page. Yeah, and plus, like, she does little breaks in the text to transfer them to a different setting or different people. The breaks are really, like, small in between, so then you always forget, okay, like, we're not in this place anymore, we're in a different place with these different people. But it centers around the 1920s, the Jazz Age, and Ezra Pound. I don't know if this story it's historical fiction, and I got this at Target, like I said, and it was $15. And it has Gertrude Stein, Ezra Pound, and F. Scott Fitzgerald. And basically what it is it's when he's first starting out on his rise to fame and everything, and he meets this woman who I think is older than he is. She's 28, and I think he was only like 18 or whatever, but it's when he first saw her in Chicago in 1920, where he got back from the war or something, and then they get married, and they go off to Paris so that they can find a group called the Lost Generation, and the Lost Generation is just who I mentioned before, like Ezra Pound and Scott Fitzgerald, and he's like, hey, I has conversations with them so you can start to build up to the point where he writes, I think the one story they just had in here was The Sun Also Rises. That's the one book that he is, one of the books he's known for. He's known for so many other books, but that's the first one. And it got really, really, like dramatic. Because I thought this was going to be like a, like a fictional, it's historical fiction. So some of the stuff is right in it and some isn't. So you knew that like it was going to like portray like from the beginning to the end or whatever, like an autobiography or whatever. But it was really good. Towards the end it got really, like in the first couple chapters it was really boring, and then you get to a certain point in their lives that is a turning point for both of them, and that's what sets off like most of what happens. And that happens, I don't know, like around like the 20th chapter in this book, but it was really, really good. Like in the beginning I really didn't like it because it was just like boring, and then it got interesting. So yeah. So the next book I have is, I got this at a book sale, like a library book sale, and it's called Where the Heart Is, and I've seen the movie to this, and the movie and the book are so much different. Like they're so much different. I don't know if that's how we say it, but it's separated, I think, into 3 or 4 parts. And there's an epilogue in it, and I don't know, there's 36 chapters in this book. And Where the Heart Is has Natalie Portman in it, and she plays the main character. And what happens is her character meets her baby's daddy, leaves her at a Walmart, and she spends most of the rest of the pregnancy living in Walmart, and then she has the baby in Walmart, and then she gets taken in by a friend that she made while she was living in the Walmart. And from that, it's just like, it's like you start to have a lot, it's sort of like when your life's just like, I don't know how to explain it, but not good. And then you only think your life's only going to take you, like, so far. But then in this story, it shows you, like, okay, like, she was a nothing, sort of. And then she became a bigger person, sort of like that. I don't know how to explain it. But the book is really different from the movie. Like, the movie, I don't even know when the movie was even written or anything, or when it was when they made it. But this book is so much different compared to the movie. Like, the movie was really good. I watched the movie so many times before I actually read the book, because I just got the book. But this is what it looks like. Like I said, there's 36 chapters in it, plus an epilogue. And it's really, really good. It's, like, so good. I don't know how to explain it, but it's really good. I think it's better than the movie, because the movie just left out so many things, and there's so many things that they changed in it, and it was just like, like, the book's better. So if you read the book and you watch the movie, you're going to see so many differences in it. So the last book I have is a book I got at Five Below, and Five Below is a store where everything is under $5, like I've always said. And I got this for $5, and it's about ancient Egypt. And I don't know who it's by, it doesn't say, but it's by the same company that makes these books, and I think it's called Igloo Books, I think. And this book was really educational. Like, I knew some stuff about ancient Egypt, but not a lot of it. And the cover is really amazing, you guys. Like, it's like gold, and it's got, like, a hieroglyphs in it, and a pharaoh, I guess that is. But the one thing I have to say, though, is that with these books, they don't, like, the one I just did a book review on before, the 100 Wonders of the World, it doesn't give you any, like, pronunciations of words in this book. So it's sort of like you just take your best guess and decide. But anyway, there's 5 chapters. There's an introduction, and there's 5 chapters in this book. And with each chapter, there's an introduction to the chapter, and then it gets into all the stuff that's going to be in there. Like, there was mythology, there was, like, music and art and culture. There was one about the pharaohs. There was one about, like, not, like, a daily life for, like, the common people, like the slaves and the peasants, or whatever you want to call them. And there was lots of pictures in this book. Like, this book was really detailed with the pictures. The Valley of the Kings, and it showed like houses, like how the houses were made, and like different pyramids and everything like that. And it was really, really good. It was really educational. Like, I would use this for like a project or something else or whatever. But anyway, this book was really good. I highly recommend you get it. It's still at Five Below that I know of. And it was really good. Like, it was, like, so amazing. It was, like, so good. I can't, like, stop thinking about it. Like, Five Below has so many good books there. Like, but they're really big. Like, they're, like, a school book, sort of. But anyway, that was my book review. Comment below and tell me your favorite books you've read for the month of March or early April. Please subscribe, like this video, comment, subscribe, share this video. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.